Yes, welcome to another tutorial of Unotutors. We are going to look at question 2. This is basically the adding and subtracting of mixed fractions, so you must take into consideration the BOD mass. So you first start with brackets, then off, and then you have to divide, then multiply, add, subtract. So obviously you have to solve this in that, considering that format. So when it comes to mixed fractions, the best way to go about it is to turn the mixed fractions into improper fractions. All right, so let's look at number 1, for example, which is a. Okay, so we have 3. Sorry, let me delete that. Yeah. All right, so we have 3 1/3 plus 2 3/5 minus 11. So you can see this one is already an improper fraction, sort of hinting you. So the way you do that to turn this into a mixed number, to turn this mixed number into an improper fraction, let me change the color. Boom. All right, so when you are going this way, you multiply, and when you are going that way, you plus. Okay, so the way you get the number is you draw the line, right, the denominator, and to get the numerator you have to say 3 times 9, 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 1 would be 10 over 3, right? Let's repeat that on number 2. You have to times here, times like that, and then here you plus, times, and then plus. So what you do here is draw the line, put the 5, which is already at the bottom, as we did with the 3, that's also at the bottom. So we say 5 times 2 plus 3, which will be 5 times 2 is 10, plus 3 is 13. And then we minus the 11 over 4, which is already in a improper fraction form. And then once we are here, right, what we will then do is we make the numerators the same, meaning we find a number that can go into all these numbers. All right, so it's the lowest common multiple, right? So the lowest common multiple for these is, let's just let me just do that. Let me quickly erase this so I don't get confused. But this was just to show that we're turning them into mixed fractions. Okay, so how do we find the lowest common multiple? One way to do is to just times all the numbers. Okay, meaning we draw a line, say 3 times 5 times 4, 3 times 5 times 4, 3 times 5 times 4, right? Here we had the 5, here we had the 3, and there we had a 4. Okay, so the answer here is this is 15 times 4 is 3060, right? So we have a plus sign here and we have a minus sign here, and what we do under, we do it on top, except for the number that we had on the bottom. So just bear with me here. So here what we would do is take the 10 times the 5 times the 4. Because the 3 was already there, it's fine, right? And then here we take the 13 times the 3 and the 4, because the 5 was already there. See there? And then here we take the 11, we times the 3, and we times the 5. The 4 was already there. And then now let's write this in one single form as a fraction, right? So we have here 60, right? On top we'll have 50 times 4, we'll have 200 plus 13 times 3, which is 939. 39 times 4 will be 39, 80, 160 minus 4 is 156, right? So over 60 minus, this is 11 times 3, which is 33 times 5. Let me just work it out here. 33 times 5 will be 5 on there, 15, 16, 165. Okay, over 60. So as you can see, all the denominators are the same now. And that's, once the denominators are the same, we can then subtract or add the numerators using BODMAS. Okay, so let's just move the page up a bit so that we continue. Right, so this is now where it gets easier, because we will just take the numbers 60, 20. I'm just going to rewrite it quickly. 156, 60 minus 165 over 60, right? So according to BODMAS, we are supposed to first add and then subtract. So we are going to add these two, which will then become one fraction. Okay, so once you add, it will be 356 over 60. Very important, the numerator must not change. You don't add the bottom, only the top. Okay, only the top part. And then we minus 165 over 60, which will then be let's just do that. I'm not using a calculator, so 356 165 will then be 1 and 921. All right, so 191 over 60. Now this would be our answer. Okay, let's move the page up again. That would be our answer. So let's write down our answer again. 191 over 60, and then if you want, you can leave it in a mixed fraction form, which you then just take the 60 goes into that. How many times? It's 3 times. 3 times 60 would be, always put down, and the 60 is still the numerator even when you have that, right? So it's 3 times 60, I mean, will be 180, meaning you have literally 11 left, and you can't simplify this. So this would be our answer for number A, letter A. So for A, our answer is that. Okay, so that is just question 1. So let's break down this into the steps, because I don't want to make too long of a video, but let's make it a bit sweeter. Okay, so stage 1, what we did was we converted the mixed numbers into improper fractions, right? So that's the first thing that we did. And then after that, we did what we call stage 2, if you will, which is then creating or making sure that they have the common denominator, right? We put them under a common denominator, which was 60. And the way we did that was we just multiplied all of them by one another. So it's these 3 by 5 by 4 to get 60. And obviously what you do under, you do it on top as well. So on top, because there was a 3 already, meaning what we did under was we multiplied it by 5 and 4. It means on top we must multiply it by 5 and 4. And here, because there was a 5, we only multiplied it by 3 and 5, which is why 3 and 4, sorry, which is why on top we multiplied it by 3 and 4. And same here. And so that's how you create the common denominator. It's actually the easiest way to find the common denominator. And once you do that, you just write it in a form that is presentable, which is then the next step, right? And presentable format, and then you just subtract or solve equation, right, with BODMAS in mind, right? So try and use all those stages and see if you will get to that answer, and then just let me know. Yes, so I'm just going to do A, and then you can try B, C, and D, and you can send me the work and I will look at it and see how it is you're doing. All right, goodbye.